Hello and welcome to our very first Abbey Primary Podcast.
In today's episode, we're so pleased to welcome you all back to school after a long time in lockdown. Coming up,
we'll be interviewing Miss Newman to find out all about the first few weeks back in school.
We'll also be chatting to one of our very own Year 6s to find out how they found it being back in the classroom.
Later we'll discuss all of the new rules around the school.
We're the Year 6s of Abbey Primary. This is our podcast that you can enjoy with me.
So, let's get started by hearing all about our new start of the day routines. Rosie, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Lottie. Well, everyone needs to make sure they arrive to school on time. Remember, all of the classes start at different times, so be sure to arrive at your correct time slot. Don't arrive early and try your hardest not to be late.
But what if we are late, Archie?
Well, if you're late, the adult who has brought you to the school will need to take you to the red door near the office. Ring the buzzer and Mrs. Carlard or Mrs. Jackson will be able to help. To keep everyone safe, we won't be letting parents into the school building, so just wait by the main door and someone will come and show you to your class.
That's right, and don't forget, when you and your parents are moving through the yard, you need to follow the arrows through the one-way system.
Lots of things have changed in the classroom and you won't need to bring anything with you to school apart from your coat and maybe your packed lunch. Water bottles can stay at home. One has been provided for you in class.
And it works the same the other way. Just like you shouldn't bring things into school, you shouldn't take things home either. You'll only take home your coat, your packed lunch and maybe the occasional letter.
That all sounds great, but what about when you've arrived at school and you're then on the yard?
Well, when you've been called by your teacher and enter the yard, head straight for one of the red dots and make sure you keep 2 meters away from any children or staff outside your bubble.
What's a bubble?
Your bubble is the group that you'll stay with all day. It's just your teachers and your friends in class. You need to make sure you stay with this group and try your hardest to stay away from other bubbles. This is to try and keep us all safe.
Thanks guys, that's all really useful information.
It's always great to hear how people have been getting on over the past few weeks. Next, we're going to speak to some of our other Year 6s about how our classrooms have changed. Phoebe, what have you got for us?
Hi Rosie. Well, we've all seen that there's lots of hand washing and sanitising going on around the school. Bethany, what exactly do we need to be doing to keep ourselves safe?
So in order to keep safe, we all need to wash our hands and sanitise every time we enter or leave the classroom. Also, it's really important that we wash our hands before we handle or eat any food.
That's right. And what about stationery and things, Lucy?
In class, only use your own stationery packs to complete different pieces of work. Keep everything safe inside your packs and don't share your equipment with others.
Oh, but why?
Well, the reason you need to use your own stationery packs is so that you don't spread germs to others.
I see.
And then there's the toilets. If you need the toilet, you can ask any member of staff and they will escort you.
Yes, then when you're done doing your business, you need to wash your hands and they will walk you back to the classroom. That's great, guys. It's all really clear and simple to follow. What do you think, Scarlett?
Perfect. Thanks for helping us stay safe.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Now, let's head over to Lily, who's interviewing Auntie Lou from the kitchen.
Hi Auntie Lou, thanks so much for joining us. How are you feeling about being back in school?
I'm very happy to be back in school. It's boring being stuck in the house all the time.
We agree, and hot dinners are back up and running. Are you glad to be back cooking?
Oh, very much so. It's boring making packed lunch. It's really boring. Hot dinners make me busy.
So now that everyone is staying in bubbles, what are the rules when we are having lunch in the hall?
When you're having dinner in the hall, in your bubble, you must stay in your seat. The dinner ladies will fetch your dinner to you. If you need anything, you must put your hand up and somebody will come and sort you out.
Thanks, Auntie Lou. That's all really clear. So, Lottie, what's next?
Next up, we'll be speaking to one of our Year 6s. Let's see who we've got.
We've got Scarlett here with us today. Hi Scarlett, have you enjoyed being back in school?
Yes, it's been really nice to see all my friends and seeing the classroom again.
How are you finding social distancing and staying away from other classes?
It's really hard because some of my friends and my sister are in other classes.
So this year, you were in one of the new classrooms. How does it feel being in Mrs. Newman's old office?
It feels weird because I'm used to coming in here and talking to Mrs. Newman, but now she's in the other room and we're in her old office. So it feels weird.
Thanks, Scarlett. It's been so lovely speaking to you.
Next up, let's go over to Mrs. Newman's office to see how the first few weeks have gone.
Hi, Mrs. Newman. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you, Lottie.
I know the children haven't been in school for a while, so how do you feel about them being back?
I'm really happy, really excited to see so many smiley faces, and it's lovely to see everybody back in school again.
We totally agree, Mrs. Newman. It's so nice to see all the children back in school.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions?
As long as they're not too hard.
Great, let's get going. Are all the classes following the correct guidelines?
The classes are all following the correct guidelines really, really well, and I'm very pleased they are.
Yes, we are too.
How much longer do you think it will be before we are allowed to interact with other classes, mixing with other bubbles?
I really don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that because I have to wait for the Welsh Government to tell me what to do. I'd like to say after October, but I really don't think it's going to be.
Do you think staff are doing a good job of keeping everyone safe?
I think staff are doing an amazing job of keeping everybody safe. They're all listening to me. I haven't had to shout at anybody yet. And yeah, they are. They're doing a very good job.
Thank you, Mrs. Newman, for all of your helpful information. Is there anything else that you want to say to the children of Abbey Primary?
The only other thing I'd like to say thank you to the children of Abbey Primary because it's been really difficult to come back. And I will say I was a little bit scared because even head teachers get scared because we really didn't know what to expect. But the teachers have been amazing and the children have been even better following all the new rules. And I am so proud of everyone.
Thanks so much, Mrs. Newman. It's been so lovely speaking to you.
You're very welcome, and that wasn't so hard, so thank you.
Next time on our Abbey Primary Podcast,
we'll hear from our Year 6s in Dosbarth, Mr. Thomas.
We'll be interviewing Mr. Davis and Mr. Thomas to find out what we'll be doing instead of our usual Christmas concert.
And much, much more.
We are Year 6s of Abbey Primary. This is our podcast that you can enjoy with me.